Hey everybody, how's it going? So a brand new viewer, sent this to me to investigate this picture of Charlie Kirk being AI edited into holding this fish with Candace. It's very, very bizarre, but when I took a closer look, I think I have to agree. I think this is an AI edited image, or at least photoshopped or something along those lines, and I will point it out to you here in a second. If you guys could just please like, subscribe, and share, that's all I ask for. I don't ask for money or anything. I genuinely appreciate y'all coming here, even Candace Owens haters. They've been coming in here now and actually been a lot nicer. And I've been showing them this evidence and they've been kind of changing their mind. So I greatly, greatly appreciate y'all being here. Seriously, thank you guys. Like I said, the fact that they would even click on the video and at least watch it is good enough for me. So thank you all again. Let's get right into this because the first thing I want to point out that I found out, my memory allowed me to remember somehow. I don't know. I feel like I don't have the greatest memory, but I remember Candace saying that Charlie Kirk hated fishing. Which was interesting, right?
There. And so I want you guys to know another fun fact about Charlie Kirk. He hated fishing. He absolutely loved the mountains. He loved hiking. He was quite the athlete, but he hated fishing. It just was not his thing. In the same way that golf is.
So maybe I could give it to her maybe because the only time he's ever mentioned that he went out fishing was with Donald Trump Jr. The only time ever. And I want to point out some facts about this. You know, when you're out here, it's just so easy to get dirty. And you can see he's got mud right here on his belt. Very, very easy, right? So let's get into the picture, right? Why am I so critical about the picture of her with Charlie Kirk? Well, as you can see, his finger instantly is cut off right here. It's a little weird. It's a little strange that you got such a uniform cut off finger. It looks weird from here, right? You zoom in. It's cut off along his lanyard. Isn't that a little odd? That's a little weird, right? Notice the one and only wrinkle on this fish is right here. It's quite the grip he's got on it, right? Little indentation, but there's no wrinkles on the fish at all. No wrinkles whatsoever here on anywhere, except you can see him a little indentation here and a little indentation here above the finger. It's a little weird. Right here, way above the finger. A little weird, if that's the case, but everything else looks smooth. Very smooth. The belly just kind of goes up in one little lump. That's not how that's going to be, especially if it's a female fish with eggs. Very squishy. Even a male, very squishy throughout the belly. The belly is so squishy and not normally very scaly at all on really hardly any fish. Maybe bass, but on big-bellied fish like these, you just don't see it as much. They're a lot smoother, which you can kind of see here, the smoothness. But it's up here towards its chest area. Not normally as much. But even, let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say it is. This all right here should be wrinkled up like crazy. There shouldn't be such a smooth piece of skin right here when you're gripping this fish. That's a little weird. I catfish for flathead. I use a casting net to get my shad. Shad's just great for flathead. They love it. And I'm pretty decently experienced. Okay, I love fishing. This net right here, if they're using that, shame on them. How did you even get the fish out of the water with that? It's so tangled and ridiculous. But even Grok was like, it's very uniform. This is very weird, okay? Grok at first also thought the picture was real. But then I pointed out a couple things, and Grok was like, oh, yeah, you know, you're right. Like, a good example, the badge. Can you guys read any of that? Does that look legible? When you get close to, it's like ... And, of course, nothing's legible up close. But it looks like there were letters that were starting here. That's weird. And what is this? Is this supposed to be a rainbow trout or something? I don't know. But its jaw isn't finished, and it's like one weird line. That's odd. Why is it down here and blurred out? It's like it stopped here and then just goes flat. That's a little weird. But when you look at the words even far away, this might be a word, but then what is this? ... AKA or something like that? It's weird. I've never seen anything like that. Now, I was not able to find out where Candace goes fishing or the private place that rents out any of these lanyards. But I found it very, very bizarre, to say the least. I tried to get a matching picture to see if they were close. To see if it was just camera angle or if this was AI generated. Now, her lanyard is here, and it's the same orange. And I can kind of maybe see some orange here, but I don't see it touching her neck at all on either side. When Charlie Kirk's is much more narrow and on both sides of his neck here. That's odd that they wouldn't be here, but maybe the jacket's concealing it? I don't know. Lighting. Very bright sunlight hitting him with clear shadows. Background is completely the same light. even up close. That's weird. Why is it not brighter over here than back here? If the clouds are maybe there's a hole in the sky there and sun's coming through, or maybe the clouds are moving out. But it seems like even right next to him, the sunlight's not getting to him at all. Here on the bar, it kind of looks like it, and here on this fish's tail, it kind of looks like some light from the sun. But even, actually, underneath the fish is a little weird, because why is it getting light under there, but not on the side here? Weird, right? Another thing, blood. No blood whatsoever on Candace Owens, and is she grabbing this by the gill and pulling it? Because why is its head straight? Why is her hand so far over, and how is this fish floating here, then? She has to be pulling the gill. But if she's pulling the gill, its head would turn. Are you kidding me? That's a little weird, too. It's very perfectly straight. And the lip right here of this fish is perfectly in alignment with this crease in the jacket. AI does things in patterns. It's very bizarre. Her hand is way too far over to be holding onto a gill. The gills are way back here, guys. And to pull it all the way out, why would you do that? Why would you pull your hand so far away? It doesn't make sense. This fish is perfectly level. There are too many weird things going on. So the lighting's off. The blood, there's not a single speck on any of their shirts or anything. They're very clean for pulling a fish up out of the water that has blood coming out of it. Well, and whatever bait they may have used. They're so clean. They have absolutely nothing on them. Nothing on their pants. Nothing on their hands. Nothing on their jackets. This, as a fisherman, I can tell you is not possible. It's not possible. When I go out to cast my line, before I even pull a fish in, I've already gotten myself dirty. I have fish scales on my legs from the shad that I cut up. Or sometimes you put them in there live, but shad, they don't stay alive for very long. They are ridiculously, sensitive fish. Pull them up out of the water, and they stiffen up, and they die really quick. So you gotta act fast. So for those shad that are starting to die, those get cut up. The ones that get live, get a hook through, get it out there quickly. They love live fish if you're going for flathead. So it's really a time game. You gotta be so quick. I am filthy before that line even hits the water. It's crazy. How are they not? I mean, they are rich. Maybe they have stuff on board that they could clean themselves with often after every cast or something. Who knows? But it's just suspicious. It's very, very, very weird. So I went ahead, of course, and asked Grok. And at first it was, it couldn't answer where Candace goes fly fishing, really. I tried to find it. It wasn't good. So I said I took a screenshot of this. Does this look like AI? And it says that this is all looks real and natural lighting, but this could be Photoshop too. So it might not have been AI per se. Could have been Photoshop, background depth. So it does all this stuff, minor artifacts, none here and all that. So I said, why do the hands look unnatural? And why does the coloring of the fish look around the hands unnatural? And it says, you're right. Zoom in, close inspection does reveal issues around the hands, fish contact points. So they say the woman's hand, which is Charlie's hand, holding the tail, has fingers blended together. And obviously it does. This looks like one finger. Or it's two that have fused into one. I don't know. It looks very bizarre. But it looks like two fingers to me, like it tried to do two fingers. Like this is finger here and this finger and then 3 into 4, right? For all 4 of his fingers. Or he broke his fingers sometime? I don't know. It looks very unnatural. Or the finger would have to be completely turned around like this, which isn't possible when you see his fingernail here and here. So how did he do that? He's got some crazy joints that he could twist his finger all the way around, right? Because clear fingernail, fingernail, fingernail. All the fingernails are at the bottom. Why is this fingers turned so completely opposite way? He can't do that. Guess he broke his finger at some point then, right? During this trip. And is just fine about it. It's bizarre, but it looks like two fingers to me. Okay, fused into one. And of course, left hand gripping the net. Okay, no, but nothing's gripping the net though, so it's hallucinating there. Don't trust AI, guys. Seriously, it's not reliable. But when it did point out some of these details, it made me look at those areas and realize that this is fishy. Again, like I said, break in the fin. Very, very, very suspicious. Seeing how she's holding it here. that fin would have broken. It wouldn't have wrapped around her finger like this and been so uniform. It's a little weird. And not to mention, these things hurt whenever they spine you. So, you know, unless salmon don't have that, maybe they don't. I've never fished for salmon. So I know catfish, if you hold them there, they're going to spine you and it's going to suck. So that's bizarre. And if this were a frozen fish, yet again, she wouldn't have been able to pull that gill. So let's say the blood was, you know, it's frozen up, which the blood is also very, very dark. That's odd for how it's trying to beat up right here. Little strange. But if it were frozen, she wouldn't be able to pull that gill or hold that fish there at all. That would be impossible. The gill would be frozen shut. So that's not possible. There's too many weird things about this image, Candace. Way too many weird things. And why didn't Charlie Kirk ever mention going fishing with you? He mentioned going fishing with Don Jr., but not you. So no, there is no evidence that Charlie Kirk has ever stated he went fishing with Candace Owens. Ever. Extensive search on his ex Twitter posts include keywords semantic queries focused on mentioning of fishing in connection to Owens. Return no results. Web searches for direct quotes or references to such statement also yield nothing. Only surfacing unrelated content about their professional collaborations, friendship, and recent public disputes following Kirk's end in September 2025. If this refers to a specific interview, podcast, or event not captured in public records, no verifiable statements exist as of November 10th. This is crazy. This doesn't seem right. And I just typed in fish on there to make sure. And of course, absolutely nothing. You know? Absolutely nothing. It's interesting. Maybe he really did hate fishing, I guess. I don't know. So much that he wouldn't make it public? He sure did with Don Jr. And you could see, before he even casts his line, there's mud on his belt. It's a little weird to me. But what do you guys think? Could I just be crazy? Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Is Candace Owens right? Is this AI? Is this Photoshop mixed with AI? What do you guys think about this? Seriously, down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for coming here. I genuinely appreciate every one of you. And I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later.